fuck is good, YouTube? We are back again with another, well, actually a part 2 to this haircut. We are going to do the design and go over a little enhancing. Alright, so boom, you can see right here, my man is a Leo. This was his birthday haircut, and he wanted to stunt a little bit and show off, who the fuck he is. And this channel ain't for kids, so I'm not excusing my French. Alright, so boom, you can see that I took this barber pencil, aka a eyeliner, and I drew this design on because for me, man, I am more effective when especially something like this, or anything that like really requires you having to know what the hell it is. I'd much rather draw it on first. Draw it, see it, and then cut it in. Don't be afraid to buy a barber pencil or use your wife's eyeliner, to make these haircuts look great, to help you get these designs done. All right, so boom, we get it drawn on there the best you can. Again, I think that doing designs works best on a number 2. If you cut the hair down to a number 2, I feel that's the best to get, um, you know, you know, to be able to draw on the hair, number 1, and number 2, also, if you were to go back and do some fading or something, you can get a good contrast, when you throw either the 116 on or the one guard on, to get that light to dark shadow. I do think anything longer than a 2, that's where you could run into problems. So for me, a number 2 guard and having that as my canvas is what I prefer to do. Okay, so you can see right now we are taking our time. We do not rush these kinds of things. Right now I'm just kind of cutting it in. We're going to rough draft the cut here, and then we do the final copy with the razor. So, don't rush these things. My guy always likes to get a little something something in his haircuts, whether it's the 2 lines, or some the normal barber squiggle that we do, something like that in the back of his head. But I am a barber who does not fucking do designs like that. Like, those of you who read my book, it's available with www.J.STRIVES.com. We have illustrations of designs in there. I believe I talk about one of those times, why I stopped doing designs for a while. But yeah, lots of gems in that book, The Barber Head Start. Go ahead and grab it for $9.99. That's the ebook, or you can get the physical copy. So yes, we are almost done here, chopping this design out. And you can see here I'm using my left hand. I write with my left hand. I do a lot of hair cutting with my right hand. Like, everything that I do really is with my right hand. It's weird. But I do notice that, like, when it comes to cutting in a hard part or something like that, like, I'm always hitting that with my left hand. But, like, you can see here, everything is with the right. Awkward. Always brush that hair off so you can see what you're working with. I believe after I got done cutting this in, we go ahead and give my man a shampoo. So boom, now I'm about to get busy with this razor. I always get it wet, clear off the excess hair, clear off the white stuff, and here we go. We're going to use our Pacinos shave gel. Those of you who haven't tried Pacinos products, you can go to pacinos.com and plug in J.STRIVES 15 at checkout. You'll get save you some money on all your orders. So again, when you get to this part of the haircut or design, you can see that my thumb was a little slippery there, so I had to wipe some of that gel off. But you want to make sure that you're pulling that tight, and don't get too crazy with pulling the skin. And don't get too busy with that razor, because if you pull the skin too much, it could affect the design. So you want to be careful. Take your time, and you can always adjust. But once that hair's gone, it's over. And I didn't want to go too fat with this line, because I didn't want to take it away from that photo that he showed me. I want them to be happy, and if we start getting too fat, then it can look you know more like a fat snake on the back of his head instead of this Libra thing. Always clearing it off, always clearing out my area that I'm working on. Stretching that skin, hitting it with the razor just a little bit, releasing, and every time I release, I'm looking. Like, I'm not just releasing and continuing. I'm also looking at to see how things come together. So I kind of just went back and then hit where I thought it looked like it needed a little more love. My head got in the way, so I chopped out a little bit. So we're at the bottom of this design now. And when it comes to the skinnier part, you gotta wiggle that razor very, very, very tiny, like very, very, very little movements. Otherwise, it's gonna take away from that skinny part. Once we got it all razored out the way that we want it, and that line is pretty crispy and clean, I always go back again with the clipper to grab anything that might be hanging into the um, into the design, or to add any extra love to this design or whatever design I'm working on. You can see in the background there, I was checking my work, checking the mirror. Always, always, always look in the mirror. And sometimes too, like right there, I just added a little extra love on that tail end of the design to keep it skinnier. I feel like sometimes I could just tap using my sharp liners to keep it skinny, instead of going in with the razor where you could accidentally make it fat. So right now we're kind of going back in this design here with the 1.5 to get any flyaways, or anything that's just maybe hanging over into the clean line. So boom, we're going to take our Pacinos matte paste. Again, use promo code JStrives15. I'm going to work this into his scalp and hair, and I put this into the eyebrows and into the beard. Really, really, really work it into the hair. Don't be afraid to touch your clients, man. I feel like sometimes people are like, man, maybe I'm just doing too much. Nah, man, they paying you to touch their head, bro. Don't be afraid to get in there. So now we're going to blow dry it out because again I'm going to go back through and line this up. So if you've seen part 1, you know that I used a little hairspray, laid it down, lined it up. But again, after adding product, I will go and do another final copy just to make sure my man is crispy and that lineup is straight. So again, I'm using my fine tooth comb here to make sure that that matte paste is really getting worked and spread through the hair. And we are blow drying it with high heat and hitting it with that cool button as soon as it's pretty much about dry. So now we're going to enhance it, man. And if y'all are enhancing things and using a card, I suggest you go buy this 245 clutch card, man, because I played myself for a long time trying to use a card and stuff, man. This stuff really changes the enhancements, makes your life a lot easier than trying to use a little card. This is a game changer for sure. Okay, so boom, we're going to take this card. I love how it's got the round and the squares all on it. And I'm just going to spray into the hair here, shield off that clean line, and really kind of just darken it up. Not to the point where it looks fake, but just to make it pop. That's how I like to do my enhancements, especially on like my clients. I don't go too crazy with it unless they want it crazy. I'll go crazy. Like for myself, I'll go dark. I don't care. But when it comes to enhancing on my clients, I do have this conversation with them, you know, or whatever. But I try to keep it as natural as possible. And sometimes like I'll go a little heavier, you know, like my man has his motorcycle, and he's got to put on a helmet. So, you know, if I feel like I just want to go a little darker, that way he could get an extra, you know, a little extra love and out of it. But I will go darker in like, you know, like a beard in the bottom area to really make it look full. But as long as it's looking real, that's where I'm going. All right, so now we're going to take our razor. We're going to spray it with alcohol and just really sharpen up this line. I like to make sure that everything is even before we lay him back and do the hot towel and then his real shave. So right now what I do is I kind of do like a little rough draft. Again, everything is like a rough draft. I'm checking my mirror. I'm like, all right, each cheek looks the same. All right, boom. Now we're going to lay him back. Then we're going to hit him with that hot towel. He's going to relax. We're gonna hit everything. You know, the eyebrows, all that, mustache, hot towel. Man, if y'all got something from this, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the final product here. Nice, clean, ready to go out for his birthday. Don't forget to smash the subscription button. Alright, and I'd love to hear your final thoughts. Thank you.